Homesickness is something that you need to prepare for when traveling abroad, especially for an extended period of time. But fear not, you're not alone. I'm Teacher David, and this is TESL for Newbies. Homesickness can cast a cloud over an otherwise amazing experience abroad. If you have ever experienced homesickness, you know that it can be the cause of actual physical and mental pain and anxiety. And so, in an attempt to prepare you for this experience of homesickness as a TESL newbie, homesickness is going to be the topic of today's discussion. So let's begin this discussion with what I think is important, a definition. And since homesickness is kind of a sickness of the mind as well as the body, I went to a place where I thought I could get a good definition, the American Psychological Association, the APA. Now, according to the APA, homesickness is a feeling of intense sadness and longing caused by absence from one's home or native land. This definition is good, but I think it's a bit abstract. We can make it a little bit more concrete. So if I can be so bold, I'll put it into my own words. I think homesickness, simply put, is you miss your family, your friends, your culture, and your familiar surroundings. Simple as that. So mentally, people who feel homesick often feel a wide range of rather negative emotions. For example, they're anxious, lonely, isolated, angry, frustrated, just negative in general, and basically sad. Physically, though, people who feel homesickness can have headaches, stomach aches, difficulty sleeping, nausea, maybe even IBS. I hope not, but it's possible. General fatigue, and even a bit of difficulty to concentrate. So it actually, their mind feels cloudy, almost in a physical way. So there are a number of ways to recognize if you're homesick or not. For example, you can ask yourself a series of rather difficult questions, actually. They might make you feel uncomfortable, these questions, but if you answer them honestly, you can start to figure out what's bothering you and how you can address whatever it is that is bothering you and hopefully get past feeling homesick. First thing to ask yourself is, are you becoming racist? Now, I know this is a controversial thing to say. It's a bit difficult for you to hear, but I think it's important and distinct from simply disliking some parts of a different culture. I come from Canada, in Toronto. I've lived in many places. There are aspects about culture that I don't like everywhere. There are things that I do like, things that I don't like. But it's cultural things that I like and don't like, not racist things, as in whole groups of people that I just simply paint with one brush. But that can happen when you start to become homesick. For example, have you ever made any of the following universal claims? Number one, you say, why do all X, wherever you are, people do blank, whatever that action is? So you're saying to yourself, why are all these people doing this? And it's something that you dislike. Everybody? Really? Number two, these people here are just so blank. All the people again? Are you sure? Have you met everyone? Or number three, can you believe that everyone here blank? These kind of universal questions can lead you into a world of negativity, a world of racist-based negativity. And notice, by making universal claims about an entire group instead of individual claims about individuals within a group, you're hitting on the definition of racism. Are you suffering from rosy retrospection or selective memory? What I mean is, are you remembering lots of things from back home, but you're talking about them and thinking about them only in positive ways? All the negatives, they're gone. All you're doing is thinking about the positives. That's kind of like almost rose-colored glasses, rosy retrospective. So, for example, you might say some more universal claims, but instead of being racist, they're now about what you think everybody is great about everyone back home. So in a way, almost connected to that racist kind of idea, because it's still universal claim making. So number one, at least back home, everyone knows how to blank. Drive, cook food, have fun, whatever you want to say. Number two, the education system here is terrible. At least back home, kids only have to blank, whatever it is. Really? So do you notice anything in those examples? Say, are you actually being honest about your home country? Nobody does X, everybody does Y. Nonsense. It's absolute garbage. It's not possible. The third and final one is to see if you're being homesick, of course, is are you being overly nostalgic? Do you often find yourself trying to relive the past, but only the positive aspects of the past, or aspects of the past that you only see in a positive light? So yes, this is kind of connected to number two, but the difference is this nostalgia is stories you tell about yourself or tell to yourself about yourself in situations. So for example, perhaps you're telling stories kind of in order to relive that feeling that you got at home when those stories were first happening, when they were new. So three examples are Christmas back home was always such a great time. It was something so great, I miss it so much. Or number two, if I wanted to go out to the pub, my friends would always be there no matter what. They would always go out with me. Number three, coming from Canada, I miss the snow. Once again, there seems to be a level of objectivity and simple honesty that's missing from those claims. Do you really miss the snow a lot? Do you really want to go back and live in minus 20-degree weather? Maybe the place you're living at now does have snow, so that doesn't apply to you. But maybe it's something else like that. And will your friends always drop everything and do something just for you? Hard to say, but I'm guessing no. So, in that case, how do we deal with homesickness? It's a good question. We'll talk about that next. Dealing with homesickness today is quite easy, actually. It doesn't mean that the homesickness feeling that you'll get isn't real. It just means that there are steps today that you can take. The first and most obvious one is you can chat online. When I first traveled away from home 30 years ago, I had to write letters, handwritten letters to my friends, to my family, and wait for those letters to get there and come back. That was not easy. Nowadays, just make sure you both have the same app on your computer, get online, chat once a week, chat once a month. Whatever you want, you can do it. You can see your friends. You can actually see them in real time. That's going to take away a lot of the homesickness. Another thing that you can do is find a group of friends. So try to connect with a group of friends. When I first got to Taiwan, I connected to one friend who is still my friend now after 20 years. We met at the local university, both learning Chinese. We were there, and then we kind of expanded our group through other people that we met. And with our group of friends, we decided to start doing things together because we both as foreigners in Taiwan. We married local girls, we started families, and then together our families would go camping, would visit each other on holidays, birthdays. We made our atmosphere pleasant. Now, that's not for everybody, I understand that. But that's just something that did happen that helped to make sure homesickness wasn't a huge part of my life. And another thing you can do, connected to this, you can just start a family here. Now, I'm not saying that you should just start a family just because you feel homesick. Of course not. But if you decide you want to stay in that country, if you get lucky enough to meet the person of your dreams, somebody you really like, somebody you want to start a family with, that's great. Or that family doesn't actually have to be a family. It could be a special group of friends that you're so close to that becomes an extended family for you, or a kind of new family. Maybe you're in a band and that your bandmates become part of your family, or you're in some kind of club and the people in that club you get very close to, at least one or two of them, and they become your new family. You hang out together, you share your time together, you share your experiences together. That can help you as much as your own family back home. And the last thing, then kind of extending off of that, is make some new friends. So if you're lucky, like I have been, you'll meet one or two people who become lifelong friends. So even though I don't even live in the same city here, actually one of these two people I don't even live in the same country with anymore. He's already moved back home. We're still great friends. We still communicate often. And whenever he comes back with his Taiwanese wife to Taiwan, we get to hang out. It's great. It's fantastic. Another friend lives in Taipei, a city 300 kilometers away. Still, without a doubt, will be a lifelong friend. In fact, friends that are such close friends that they're becoming part of my extended family. When I go to Canada now, I start to feel homesick. I miss the people back here. So it's interesting how things can change, especially since I have my own family here. If I ever go back alone to visit for whatever reason, I definitely can't wait to come back to Taiwan because my own family is here now. And last, speaking of that, traveling home. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to travel home. Some people I know still go home every summer. That's great. Do what you want. The days of me traveling home now are kind of in the past. I still have family back home that I care about, but it's time to start traveling to other places when I have a chance. I've lived in Taiwan for quite a while, and there are many places around Taiwan that I still haven't been yet. And I'd like to go visit them with my wife, with my family. So that'll kind of help us to build our own memories so we can reminisce about them, not reminisce about something that I did 40 years ago when I was 17. Also, think to yourself, it's not an easy thing to think about, but think about it. If you're in another country and you're there for, say, 3 years, how many of your friends and family back home are going to come visit you? Maybe not a lot. You know, it's easier for you to go visit them and then see all of them. That's true. But you've chosen to leave. So that means you must be looking for something new. I suggest you keep that in your mind. Keep it in your mind. You're looking for something new. Have your friends and family back home. Care about them. Don't forget about them. But don't let it stop you or stagnate you from making new friends, from making new family. Okay, so now that you understand my perspective anyway, my idea of what I believe homesickness is and ways that have been successful for me, hopefully those ways to deal with homesickness will be successful for you. So in the next video, homesickness is done. We're going to start discussing something more specifically localized to your new job that you're adjusting to. school curriculum. Now, by school curriculum, I'm not only going to focus on one kind, because there's a good chance you'll teach at more than one kind of place. So I'm going to briefly talk about cram school curriculum, elementary school curriculum, and all the way up to university curriculums. So I'll address those a little bit, give you some ideas, some specific examples, and hopefully they will help you kind of get adjusted once you're here. Okay, that's all for today. Bye for now.